Hey guys, this is Forte. Welcome to this week's Wednesday video. It's March 30th. Tomorrow's the 31st. After that will be April. And let's talk about some trade ideas that for tomorrow. And I have no trade ideas for tomorrow. You can go ahead and exit out the video if that's all you want to do, but I'm going to explain why I'm not going to be trading tomorrow. I don't see any good opportunities. Let's take a look at a lot of there are many good opportunities in a lot of the stocks, but I think everything requires a little bit of pullback and retest right now before we ever enter in a new position. Let's take a look at utility stock. They're the one that's been really hot, so I'm going to cover some of the data here. So a good place to get involved with utility stocks is right here when it started forming this, whatever you like to call it, flag or whatever it's calling. It's the stock is on a huge uptrend. The 20 days increasing dramatically, and then the stock moved from the sector moved about good 10%, and then we had a little, how many percent pullback is that, like a 2.5% pullback, which is really healthy. And now the sector got going. A lot of the stock has made a lot of new highs basically in the sector, and now this utility sector needs to settle down, and that kind of goes with a lot of the sectors right now, right? Take a look at the energy stock. Energy stock might be the one that's worth noting, maybe worth even trading it. But I think it's a little bit too early. If you look at on the 15-minute chart, let's take a look at on the 30-minute chart. It might be a little bit easier. The stock moved from basically the index made in total of like 15% move in the last week, right? And then we pull back a little bit. You can see the pullback below the 5-day moving average. You can see you can kind of view this as like a quick shakeout because we recover immediately from that. But now, buying it right after a shakeout right here to me is considered. I think it's a little bit chasing, right? Because there's this gap that it needs to be tested, in my opinion. If this thing wants to have a healthier, sustainable move to the upside, I want to see this thing come all the way down here and test this area to find buyers again. So it will do something like this. It will come down to the that's where the 5-day moving average is at as well. It will come down to the 5-day moving average, fill this gap right here, and test a little bit, right? And maybe it gets going on Friday or something. I think it needs a day or two for the energy sector to really set up well. And the reason why you don't want to get involved right now is this is a potential scenario that could happen. What also could happen is we come down, test this area, right? We come test this area, and what happens is that we don't find buyers, we don't find strong buyers. And what happens next is like this happens. We're in a heavy news driven market. You want to be careful, you want to see evidence before entering in stocks and trades, right? That's why I'm not going to be going ham on the energy stocks right now as well. And the basic material stock, we kind of broke out a little bit, kind of the same idea. You guys know what I mean? Like people are like, Forte, it's consolidating really well right here. It could have, maybe a quick move to the upside. Well, if you look at down the 15-minute chart, it's the sector is obviously really overextended in the last on Tuesday, and today's Wednesday, and this is the data today. So it was extended on the Tuesday, got really extended. We gap up, got even more extended, gap up into a breakout. Extended breakout usually doesn't work, and this is what happens. But thankfully, we have come all the way down to test basically this area, which is the 5-day moving average. The stock got extended, got up. You can view this as a quick shakeout. Came back down to test the 5-day moving average. And at the end of the day, it seems like we found buyers. This is kind of what I want to see on the energy stocks. So in the energy sector, it's basically I want to see something, like that. And then maybe it gets going. But that's happening right now in the basic material sector. So potentially you can be looking to find trade ideas in the basic material sectors. But I think I'm gonna wait a little bit just because I think the hottest thing right now in the basic materials are the like the steel stocks like NEU or CLF, right? And I don't think these two stocks are ready yet. I think they're still in pullback mode. Obviously, the shakeout yesterday put in was it's a shakeout because we immediately recover from that, but we also got to extend it from the recovery move. So therefore, I think this thing needs at least a day or two to settle. Potentially, if this thing can settle really well for tomorrow, I can see it being a buy on Friday, which is going to be April 1st. But as for Thursday, March the 31st, I have no idea. I have no trade ideas basically. if you take a look at let's take a look at the Nasdaq, right? The QQQ. We're this thing is really extended right at the 200-day moving average. We're hitting the previous area of the high, so potential resistance hitting in right here. Also with the 200-day moving average, which it's a really strong force, for either buyers or sellers to show up. So we're gonna have to see how this thing goes. We want to see buyers showing up, and we're getting really extended. I want to see this thing at least come down to the 5-day moving average and see if we can find buyers here. Or if you look at it on the 65-minute chart, perhaps this thing can come all the way down here to test this area for buyers again, right at 260 level, and that's a lot of way down. Maybe do something like that, from a higher low, and then we'll go higher with this thing. But as of right now, just chillax. A lot of people are really excited. There's a lot of FOMO going on because it's funny how nobody want to buy it here, nobody want to buy the stock here, nobody want to buy here. Now we're all the way up here. People are getting extended, especially the day after a gap up. That's where you want to be more cautious than ever, right? So please don't get too excited with the stocks. And I'm looking at indexes. Obviously, the where you make money is really in the stocks, but the index really does tell us a story right now on the overall health of the market. My preferable trade idea, my way of trading is hopefully the index is also on the same page as my individual stocks. This way, it will make up for the best. This way I can just go really aggressive and make a lot of money because basically I'm selling and the wind is blowing my direction, right? And that's it for this week. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.